Looks like it's running. Alright, hi everyone, TigerHawk23 here. A little late tonight. I was busy this evening, but here I am. Still counts as today for another 13 minutes. Yay. So, you'll notice that today, as a Python day, I have the clicker program up here. Why don't I have the Star Trek Online loop parser? Because this cool dealy, right, with the thing and the expression and the messages like this, very good. I use the combat log that you would actually use in the game. The command is /combat log and then a space and then 1 to turn it on. /combat log by /chat log, sorry, by itself is checks whether it's on or off. /chat log 0 turns it off. /chat log 1 turns it on. And I turn it on and let it run for a bit. And you know what the files look like? They don't look like this. They look like this. With this stuff. And I'm like, what is this? Comma. This is a comma chameleon? Yeah, no. It looks like some sort of comma separated value field, a CSV, but not in a CSV file. And I don't know what these empty fields are supposed to be, or if there's ever supposed to be anything in them, if they're never populated, or sometimes, or why. And sometimes there's 0 here, sometimes it's 21 or 16. Does it correspond to the person, or perhaps the instance that they're in of this channel? I have no idea. No idea. This looks like the date and time. 2016 05 15 T150116, probably 3:01 and 16 seconds. So that's good. A more precise time down to the second. I like that. And I don't know what this is. I really don't. I have no idea. And then 3. I have no idea. Remark lost, item received, and someone talking in sound. So I have no idea what this is. I will be researching and asking on forums and stuff, trying to see if I can figure out what it is, what's going on. But we still have this portion is the same, so that's good. But we will probably have to throw this thing away. And this stuff. Everything in the square brackets was just formatted. So we won't throw it away, because maybe someone will want to copy part of their chat log, just like copy paste if they weren't chat logging, and then it will be useful. But realistically, you will turn on chat logging, and what it does is you start the game, you turn it on, and you start logging, you turn that on, and then it keeps logging for as long as the application is running. So character changes, it doesn't matter, so it won't know what character you are playing. But when you exit the game and restart, it is off again by default, and you have to turn it on. And when you do that, it creates a new file. So it is separated by play session already. So we can leverage that maybe if we want. We'll have to have a way to put play sessions together at some point, to string a bunch together. That'll be kind of bothersome. But more stuff to do, right? It was almost done. It was too easy, so we had to be harder. Anyway, clicker. What are we gonna do tonight? Tonight we feast. No, I did that already today. I had soup. It was good. I had ramen, but not the 50-cent pack of ramen that you get at the supermarket, but like a big bowl of ramen with like an egg and bits of meat in there and stuff. It was good. Today, give gear buttons uniform widths. Okay, we can do that. what have we got initially? Turn it on, thank you. Ba 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 ba. Okay. We'll soon buy click strength. Click strength. More. Okay. Blah blah blah. So we see it's taking shape. That's good. So we want this button width is 20. I don't know how wide each of these is. Doesn't actually have. We specify the size of the window in pixels, and the size of the button in, I don't know, characters or something. 6, 10, 13, 16, 17, 18, 21, 24, 30? That's like 30 characters, and it fits in something a width of 20? I don't know. I don't know what measure that is. Maybe it's monospace characters? No idea. It doesn't really matter. But we will find some way to do this. So we'll just turn this off for now. Where do we make buttons? In Clicker, of course. In this, I need a button. We're going to be making a tk.button. Frame, label, scroll bar, canvas, button. Here we are. Width equals 30. Let me actually close this and then restart it and turn it on so you can see. That looks a little different, doesn't it? It's not quite big enough. Is it? Yeah, not quite big enough. So let's make the window itself larger. There's a width somewhere. Here, canvas width and height. So we're gonna do 450. Aren't we glad that we wrote canvas width somewhere? And now we can just go back and change it, and there it is. Instead of having to look here and being like, and then change in multiple places. As soon as I had it in more than one place, I'm like, this has gotta go. It's gotta go. And there we are. I'll run it again and show you. Okay. Let's see how big this is. I'm just going to... I screenshotted that, and I'm pasting it into Paint, and now I can measure how many pixels there are. And it is about 12 pixels. 12 pixels. 12 pixels. So let's say 38. There's a song, some rock thing, which has a refrain of "I can't drive 55," meaning he's just got to go faster because he's just that, you know, groovy, etc. I don't know if it was that time period, but "I can't drive 55," and then there was a bit of a spoof of that, a little line in The Simpsons, where a comic book guy is driving his small and terrible car, saying, "I can't drive 55 because it only goes 38. This is a good reason to not go 55. So let's run this again. TK enter, here we are. Blah blah blah. Get one of these, etc. Alright. And that is a good looking app. Look at that. Let's give myself many clicks. Clicker current clicks equals 10000. Lots. Great. Oh, does it go by cumulative? It goes by cumulative. Whoops. Alright. Now we can properly cheat. Ah, look at that. Let's see what we have got. I say look at that, and then I don't show you. That's awesome. Alright. This will probably need to be larger at some point. Look at this. There's almost no room for that. Yeah, this is no bueno. It's not, look at that. It's out of the thing. It's not big enough. So let's do the following. Let's make the buttons wider and make the application wider. This isn't any different for the algorithm. This isn't computer sciencey stuff. I'm gonna write a sort function. No, we're not doing that. What we're gonna do is design work, which is part of software development. If you do not have a designer, then you do it yourself because it is important. Imagine having an application where stuff goes out of the frame and then eventually you can't read it anymore, and it's like, yeah, let's buy some of these so I can get more clicks for stuff. Can I not afford? I don't think I can. Oh, now I can. Slowly buying more. Alright, that should help. But, yeah, the details, they count. When companies say they're looking for someone with attention to detail, this is the sort of thing they mean. That you run the application and great, looks fine, but then forgot that it can get bigger numbers in here, right? And then what? And then your application looks bad. And then people talk about it on social media and say, why don't these people test anything? And then it is very embarrassing. Is how that works. So these are getting prohibitively expensive. Let's buy some fancy things. Can I afford? No. What can I afford? This. There. That's a little better. Oh, there's more. Even. There. Hackers. Highly effective. Highly effective hackers. I don't even know how many of these I have anymore. I could calculate it out from this thing with, you know, arithmetic. But, point being, 3, 6, 9, 12. When this is 3 digits and then more, it will roll over to... scientific. But yeah, it is way too big. So we need more room. Easy. And here's how we'll do that. Width, 35. And this is what, 460? I don't know. We'll run it and find out. Not big enough, I can tell. 480. Not big enough, I can tell. I will show you. It looks like that. It's not big enough. That's all it is. It's not big enough. 520. Alright. Now we can see that we've got a little bit of room here. But it's lots more space for these things. And let's buy the expensive ones, shall we? Hackers. Great. That's what I like. Now we can afford many of these. Click, 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 click. Instead of clicking on the button, We're clicking on buying things. Maybe one feature we might want is a little text entry field. And then, let's see, I have 100, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. This is going to have 3 digits probably at most. I don't know. Okay, that doesn't fit. See? That's not good. How about a width of 40 for the buttons? I increased by 10. It went from 438 to 520, so that's 18 fewer. And 18 fewer would be 602. And 602. This was the previous width was 438, and then we increased the width by 5, and it went from 438 to 520, and we're having the same increase again, and so now it's 602. It increased by 82. 8.2 pixels per width, because remember there are 2 buttons side by side, and this applies to both columns. Save and run it again, and take enter, and here we go. Nope, I was wrong. Too big. Let's make this wider for a change. 41. 42. Wouldn't that be fun if it was 42? Frame's got to be a little bigger. A little bigger. Let's do 622. Now it's too much. I will measure this in pixels in Paint. If you are laughing at Paint because you mostly see full screen. There should be monitor 2. Here we are. You mostly see it used for, say, brush. Look how many extra clickers I have. Or, you know, noob. If you want to make a funny post on a forum, you post a screenshot of this, and, you know, you circle the word noob a few times, and you are calling the person whom you quoted a noob. So, I don't know. That's Paint. But what Paint can also do is, and this is regular zoom. Now I'm zoomed in, by the way. And, no. I want the selection tool now. And, look in the bottom over here. And so notice how that figure changes from 2 and up. And we're going to do that 15 pixels. Perfect. No, other one. This one. 18 pixels. Maybe 17? 16. Let's do 16 more pixels. Fewer pixels. Back to Python scene. 16 more pixels. And we need them here. So that's 38 again. Alright. And we run. And we show you. Wrong direction. O2. Didn't I already? 2. 22 minus 16 is 04. No. No, it isn't. 6. 606. What do y'all think of this? I'd say there's a couple pixels too many. Let's put it to 604, about. And then someone runs out on like Linux or a Mac or something, and it looks all wrong. And it's like, that's great. That's great. But here we are. Very beautiful. And let's buy one of these, one of these, one of these. Let's buy some hackers eventually. Hackers. Beautiful. Very beautiful. Okay. And then steam power clicker is one of the biggest ones. Should we have this text centered or on the side? Should this be centered, or should it be over here on the left, or maybe right aligned? I think centered for now is probably a good bet. Since we have it in 2 columns, the actual cookie clicker, what that layout does is it has like a different area, a different scrollable frame for all the upgrades, and it's an area. There's like the main kind of cookie clicking area with the cookie, and then there's like information in the middle, and then on the right there's a kind of a column, I guess, and the top part of it is a scrollable frame with upgrades that you can buy and that show when you've unlocked, and the second part is all the buildings, and each building has its own little bar that extends all the way to the width of that column field. So it's a bit of a different layout, but I think this looks fine as is. Click, 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 click. How many was it? Like 130? There we go, 137. Then it gets smaller. And eventually, it will be, let's think, how does our number formatter work? It can have up to 15 digits, I think, before it switches to scientific, and when it switches to scientific, it then adds more scientific notation afterward, once it is too big, which is 1E308, so that needs to fit a couple more digits in here, and then after that it will be maybe a little bigger. I think this is a good size. 200, yeah. I'm happy with that. That's good. So we've got a button width of 42 and a canvas width of 604 is significantly less entertaining. By the way, this red bar allows us to collapse stuff. Like if we're like, okay, I'm pretty happy with the init, I don't need to see it anymore. And then it is, gone. And we can go to the next, what's it? And here we can see all of our functions that are collapsed. And that's what we have. Looks like. Oh, because it's... Why does it still show that? Maybe because they're comments? It still shows comments. Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna unfold all of this here in it. Did I unfold everything? I think. Nope, I did not. Here we are. Alright, making sure there are no horizontal bars. Okay. So now we have Give gear buttons uniform width. Check. Next song. Achievements? I don't know. Periodic upgrade unlocker. This might be a short stream today. I don't know. It's a bit late. I don't know if I want to start on these other features because they look like hour-long things at least. Achievements. Also, I don't know what achievements I would have. Click this many times. Have this many clicks. I don't know. Hang on. Let me check something. Where are my binds? First toggle, show info. Configure the canvas. Oh, because it would be a command for the button, and that is increment. Does anything else call increment? Don't know. I don't remember if my auto clickers are. Let's go here and search for increment. Nope. Zephychan says in chat, next song, let's do the time warp again. That's from a Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's a movie from 1975. It is a classic. Very interesting film. You should it's probably on Netflix or something. Go rent it at Blockbuster. Does Blockbuster still exist? I don't know. I'm sure I would have heard. Would have been in the news, like, remember Blockbuster? Yeah. Neither does anyone else. They're gone, or something. I would have heard about that. Let's do the time warp again. It's just a jump to the left. I am not going to sing the whole thing. Adieu. Because I'm not that mean. I'm not gonna sing that. Adieu. So, what I was referencing originally with next song was there's I wouldn't call it a song, I would call it a track from a Tenacious D album, and the track is called One Note Song, and Jack Black has written a song consisting of one note. It goes dun 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 dun. It kind of bends the note a little, bends the pitch up sometimes. Dun 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 dun. That's it. One note song. And Kyle, his bandmate and buddy, is like, but that's not. Oh, Zephy-chan says Blockbuster apparently died circa 2008. Okay then. Thank you, Zephy-chan. I didn't know that. I guess I hadn't heard about it. That's a long time ago. 8 years ago. They're gone. So, I guess that answers that. Don't go looking for a Blockbuster. You won't find one. Okay. But yes, so he gets the one note song and he says, that's it. I got it. Check one song off. And he goes, next song, because, you know, make another one, he's done. Now it's Kyle's turn. Next song, but you didn't write the next song. It's very entertaining. You should look that up as well. I make references sometimes. And hopefully you don't get name errors when I make references. That means I hope you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, look it up in the Google scope. It's so funny tonight, instead of the global scope, the Google scope. That scope has everything. let us look at the parser thing. What is this? What is this nonsense? I have no idea what it could be. Zephy-chan, do you know if you know if you have done chat log before that command, if you know what this means, and this is maybe the instance number. Star Trek Online is a multi-instance instead of having, you know, servers and realms and shards. And you may be on like the I'm trying to think of a generic shard name. On Office Lamp shard, right? And then maybe your friend is on Futon shard or realm, and never the twain shall meet, right? And then you need to get like a realm transfer or whatever. Star Trek Online does it has multiple instances of each zone, and when you enter that zone, you'll just be placed into a random instance that has enough room, and if you want to switch, you can switch. You just hop between instances. So maybe this is the instance. Numeric received isn't said in an instance. What else do we have in terms of 16? Maybe this person is in instance 16 when he says this in zone. Beta quadrant 001 sector. Sector 1? Near Earth space dock? I don't know. I really have no idea. Maybe he's in instance 18, instance 9, and then 0 again when we don't know. 21, that's a decent guess for what it is. Item assignment started. This is like the numeric received. This is this field. System is equivalent to the channel name system, like over there. And then we've got some empty fields. I don't know what this is, but shouldn't be incredibly difficult to do, because we've got what have we got here in the expression? We've got the date and the time, and then the channel, and then the action, and then the message itself. And it looks like we capture the day and time. Don't capture this. And no, and no, and no. Okay. Shouldn't be too bad if we want to do the same thing. We would just have, you know, a bracket, and then not a comma, and then a comma. Although comma-separated values as a format, it's not like a standard or official anywhere. It's just whatever people decided to do. But what if you want one of your fields to contain a comma, right? And then there are rules for that. Like maybe if you have something that contains a comma in a field, that field is within double quotes. And then if you just split on comma, you'll have a field that starts with a quote and then goes up to the comma, and then an extra field that shouldn't exist, right? You would split one field with a comma in the middle into two fields, one of which with a quotation over here, the other of which with a quotation over there, right? This is why you use the CSV module if you're in Python, and whatever CSV module or gem, I think Ruby has gems, or library, whatever. Use one that already exists, because if you make your own, it will be wrong, and you shall surely die. That's from South Park with Lemmy Winks. a catata fish giving some sort of helmet to Lemmy-Winks. Follow the path or you shall surely die. The things you remember, right? Boy, howdy, I'm thirsty. Nice. So I would have, if this actually is comma separated something, if it's possible for the fields to contain commas, then actually I think there's a channel guild I'm looking for. Is there an at? I don't know why there's all these ats. I really don't know. Latinum channel. Okay. I have a channel that I called, no, not that I called. I have a chat tab that I called Latinum to contain a channel that I'm a part of called Latinum, and then date and time. See the T in there? That's gonna make this easier to parse. We're gonna have we'll probably use the date time module for that. If you have a very simple format like this, for example, then you would have let's say this is S. Then you'd have S with the slice up to 4 is the year, and then 4 to 6 is the month, and then 6 to 8 is the day, and then 9 to 11 is this, and 11 to 13 is that, and 13 to 15 is that, and you can just slice it a bunch. Or you could use the strp time, string process time, or parse time, yes, which parses a string and turns it into a datetime object for you, instead of having you judo chop a string many times and then save everything in it and send it all to a datetime object yourself. Although it's faster to do it yourself, generally, if you can, if it's not horrendously complicated. The datetime module is written in Python, and it uses some regular expressions. It's, I'm not going to call it slow, but if you need to optimize it, you can. Just drop the string up yourself, and it will be faster by a pretty good amount. Last time I had to do something like this, how fast was it? It was a good chunk of time, 20-30%? I don't know. It's significantly faster to do it yourself, instead of relying on the regular expression to parse it for you. But measure before optimizing. If I run it and it's too slow and I try changing this, you should really, instead of trying to change something, you should, what's it called? Profile your code, and then it tells you where it spends the most time, and then you can say, it's spending a lot of time in this string p time call. Maybe I should optimize that. That's how you optimize. Once you see that it is too slow, and you find where to make it better, then you change that. That's how it's done. Okay. 0, because there's no instance. Someone's saying this, but it's just on a regular channel instead of in a zone. And then the name. Oh, there's a something at something, because that's the name. And then an at, the comma, I don't know. 0, something at. Maybe the at is a name at handle, and it just has the at by itself. I don't know. and then an at hanging out by itself. Not hanging out, I don't know. And then Latinum. Maybe one of those is the tab, and the other is the channel name, and it is a channel. Your guess is as good as mine. So honestly, I don't know. I don't even know what I was looking for in this area. I don't know. The date, the instance, name at handle. I have no idea. What I could do is capture each one of these fields with a regular expression and see what I get for all of them. And then I could maybe see differences. And I could say, like, oh, does this one, there's a what's it? Like, if this only ever has at in it and nothing else, then I'll be like, I don't know what that's for. Maybe it's for whispers? Name at handle to name at handle? I don't know. Maybe one of these is the tab? No, but I have tabs for these, don't I? No. I guess one of these is the tab, and the other is the channel name. Blah, blah, blah. Zone. I don't have a tab called zone. That's just called chat, I believe. Response channel. Zone, whatever with the thing. Zone. So this is what the zone is called that it happened in. And here's the channel name and the type, I guess. At that's the NPC channel. I'm just taking shots in the dark, I really don't know. But we will be keeping the old format around. And we will have to find some way to decide what else to do. Maybe this will need some kind of graphical front end so you can choose all the files. I really don't know. You have to see my shruggy hands. Shrug, I don't know. So, I don't know if next Python stream will be more idle clicker stuff or more of this. I will have to find out what's up with this log. Because I don't know. It is not like this, that's for sure. Maybe I'll find out whether channel names can have commas or brackets in them. If they are not permitted such things, then if they're not permitted to have commas, then I'll know that it isn't a CSV thing with CSV syntax and dialect. There are various kinds. Or if it just says, no, you can't have commas anywhere in there because we're just going to use them, and the parsing method for this particular CSV line is split on comma, period, and then it's done. I don't know. So I'll have to see what characters can be part of a channel name, perhaps, and see if I can get maybe some kind of official word on what each of these fields mean, because I mean they're letting players record these chat logs, and as of now there's like, if we don't know what they mean, why would we need to see them, right? So it would make sense to have some source that tells us what they are, and I intend to find it or cause it to be created, and then we'll know what the heck's going on. And we will parse things. It'll be good. And I have, I started up the application, I logged in, and I played. I'm like, and then I exited the game entirely, and then I went back in, and I let some chat messages go by, and I'm like, okay, it's not adding to this one anymore. And then I turned on chat logging again, and then it made this new file. And it's by PlayStation. By play session. So gonna have to think of some stuff with that. Maybe it'll be maybe it'll just say the directory, and it'll do I have this format somewhere? I do. So it ends up looking like file names as such. And the previous one was this, and I don't know why it says 21 or 22. I have no idea. I have no idea. Chat 2016-05-15. That is chat year, month, day with 0 padding. And then 21 and 22. It wasn't that hour of the day. I have no idea what is driving these automatic file names, but I'm sure it's something algorithmic and deterministic, and if it's deterministic, we can determine it. Maybe it should just look for, you could specify the folder with your logs, and then it'll just look for everything that starts with, every file that starts with chat, and then sort them and concatenate or go through each one and start regex matching, like instead of this S for line and S dot split on U line, instead of S dot split on U line, we would for line in where does this go? Here. We don't match expression line for line S dot split. Instead, it would be for file in, or for file name and directory listing. There would be loops involved. Maybe a line above, I would say no. There's os.listdir and scandir. Anyway, there are methods to find all the files in a folder, and then I could filter out the ones that don't match the file name format I'm looking for, and then say go through each one, and within each one go through each line of the contents and add thing. For file in for file name in os.listdir sys.argv1 or whatever, like this, with open file name as f, had, you know, the read.match. I'd either have a nice little Pythonic bunch of loops or some gigantic multi-line expression. Either way, I don't know. That's what I plan on doing. So something like that, just iterate through all the files and parse all of it. But on the plus side, we won't need this year stuff. I use? Oh, now over here. No, I'll need that. I won't need year, now dot year. Ah, yes. Year. Do I use that? Oh, I do. Okay, year equals year. So year will be the actual parsed year from the loot object, which we will have because it's a chat log. Chat log has that, but yeah. And this will be simpler. Instead of this whole block, it'll be self.datetime equals datetime dot string parse time, and then, you know, the string and the format specifier. Easier, I think. Yeah, anyway. So, if anyone has any leads on this this chat log format, leave a comment letting me know what's up. Otherwise, I will be attempting to find it myself in some way. So probably that, and idle clicker stuff next week. What day is today? Sunday or something? Monday by now. So this week, idle clicker stuff and loot parser stuff and games in some way. I don't know. There's a new Humble Bundle with Capcom things. Maybe I'll get that and play some of those. It'll be $15 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, more than 10 games because they're adding more to it at some point. Maybe they already have. Let's hit refresh. Well, 11 or more games at least for $15. About $1 a game. That's not very expensive, and they're like Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition for $1. And Resident Evil 4 for a little over $1. It's a good price. Good price. Humble Bundle. So I'll have those things. Clicker changed very little, actually. Oh, I should change this back to 0. Yes. Changed this dealie and that dealie. I think that's pretty much it. Didn't do anything else today. That's fine. It was an important change. Makes the application look a lot better. So that's fine. So that's the stream for today. Thank you for joining me in chat, Sevi-chan. Poor Blockbuster. And games, loot, parser, and idle clicker this week. I will see you then for all those things. And like, comment, subscribe. Thanks. Feel silly saying that, but there you have it. Please do those things. Yeah. So, thanks for watching, and have a good one.